Hello Internet, welcome to Lame Theory, the only show that obsesses with FNAF almost as much as the fourth snake obsesses with Mortal Kombat. But no one can obsess quite like that man can. So let's talk about FNAF. FNAF VR Help Wanted is very clearly intended as a fresh start for the series, denouncing the previous games in the series as, quote,
total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic. Lawsuits pending.
Said complete lunatic is, of course, Scott Cawthon, creator of the series and my personal Jesus Christ. The obvious implication of all this is that the previous games are exactly that, games created in this universe as in our own by Scott Cawthon, firmly establishing this as the fourth FNAF timeline following the old games, FNAF World, and the books. Hashtag FNAF Align Through Time when, Snake? But there is one question I have in regards to this new creative direction Scott's chosen to go with the new games. If all, let's see, 8 games in 4 years, really? Wow. Anyway, here's the question. If the previous 8 games exist in the world of FNAF VR in presumably the exact same form they do in our world, which does explain why like every FNAF character sounds like Scott, then why does the guy dismissing Scott's games as lies in the real world of FNAF VR sound exactly like Scott's voice from the previous games like Sister Location?
Exotic Butters.
Lawsuits pending.
Exotic Butters.
Lawsuits pending.
I finally caught you, Scott, trying to pull the wool over our eyes with this supposed reboot. This is less of a reboot than Mortal Kombat's. And before you all type in the comments that this is just a coincidence, I'd just like to remind you all that Scott doesn't do coincidences. So it must have some kind of meaning, right? I've gone through all the FNAF lore a dozen times over, the games, the books, the activity books, and there is no explanation for this anywhere in any of the previous material. It just makes no sense. The only explanation that makes any kind of sense is that Scott has just given up on consistency and believability of this world he's created. Other developers make huge continuity mistakes like this all the time, but not Scott. Why, Scott? Why are you doing this to us? All we wanted was a logical, consistent storyline. We were even willing to accept your trademark, cryptic, and obtuse method of storytelling and piece the clues together ourselves. We didn't ask for much here. Did you disregard the fans that appreciate the efforts you've put into the past stories to appease those who don't care about the story and are only here for the shallow gameplay and violent player murder? The story is what got people invested in this shallow series in its infancy, and you think it's okay to just disregard those people with blatant, ill-conceived narrative contradictions without a proper justification? Well, I have one last thing to say to you, Scott. Yes, this is satirical allegory before you ask.